I took the S.A.T 7 times in 5 different locations and wrote a book about everything I learned along the way called the Perfect Score Project, and these are my top tips. Use official College Board material as the mothership of all good test prep. So this is the blue book, this is the College Board's blue book. They also have an online course, which this has 11 S.A.Ts in it, practice tests. The online course has another 10. A lot of people say to me, my kid's not a reader, or I'm not a reader, what do you do? Well, guess what? My kids weren't readers either, and here's what I did. I had them choose one New York Times article every day, and we read it together and discussed it and picked out the vocabulary. There's research that shows that discussing an article helps with comprehension. What's the best way to prepare for the essay part of the S.A.T? Practice. It's as simple as that. It's a 25-minute timed essay. Use official College Board prompts, which they have on their website. And there was an MIT study that shows that if you fill both pages and you use sophisticated vocabulary, aka S.A.T words, and varied sentence structure, the facts don't even matter. A lot of people think that the S.A.T is testing how well you can take the S.A.T. I totally disagree. The S.A.T is testing how solid your foundation is in reading, writing, and math at one moment in time. It's not immutable. You can improve. I'm living proof of that. Everyone wants to know how long you should prepare for the S.A.T, and I'm going to say that cramming is what causes all the stress, and that it would behoove you to give yourself a nice long runway. A good school year, an academic school year, is comfortable, and I realize that seems like a long time to do test prep, but the truth of the matter is it's not mutually exclusive from what you're learning in school and will need for college and life beyond that. What's the one thing you need to know about the S.A.T? It's as much a test of endurance and performance on test day as it is the knowledge you know. So take full timed practice tests using official College Board material before test day. You have to endurance train, you have to build stamina and the ability to focus for that long. So how much can you increase an S.A.T score? The College Board reports that the average score gain after test prep is 5 to 20 points, which means that some people actually go down after test prep. I improved my score by 330 points, and my son improved his score by 590 points from his sophomore PSAT. So what can a parent do to help their child succeed on the S.A.T? I'm going to say you don't have to take the S.A.T 7 times. You don't even have to take the S.A.T 1 time. Any level of warm engagement will do. It doesn't benefit anybody to perpetuate the idea that this has to be a reviled rite of passage. It can be a shared positive experience. Trust me, if I did it, anybody can do it. Point out vocabulary when you hear it. It's everywhere. It's not, these S.A.T words are not so esoteric. They're in TV shows, they're in movies, they're in the newspaper. Point them out, discuss them, use them. Take a section together. You don't have to take the whole S.A.T. Take one silly section together. Write an essay together. Read the essay. I learned so much about my son from reading his essays, about what he thought about politics and history and literature. So what was the biggest surprise about the family S.A.T project? The biggest surprise was that our score gains were far from the best part of the project. The best part was that my son grew as a person and a student, and he learned how to goal set. You know, for the S.A.T we had this big calendar, and it was a long-term project, and we mapped it out, and he took that skill with him and finished high school with his highest grades ever, and took goal setting and the self-esteem he gained from setting his own goal and achieving it to college with him. That wouldn't have happened, I don't think, had we not done the family S.A.T project together. So what makes a good test location? I can attest that fancy school does not equate to great test location from firsthand experience. That was actually my worst test location. You want to make sure that you don't have one of those pork chop desks. You want a full-size desk. You want to make sure that it's given in a classroom versus a gym or a cafeteria. And you want to sit in the front row if possible to minimize visual distractions. You can call the test center supervisor at the school and ask, is the test administered in a classroom? Do you have proper sized desks? So what are the best snacks to eat during the S.A.T? I tried everything from Red Bull to peanut butter to bagels and everything in between. What I found the best snacks were 70% or higher dark chocolate. It gives you a burst of energy. Apple slices. You want food that you can run back and forth to the restroom at the breaks if necessary. Apples are good for transporting, and they also fill the belly really well. And Listerine strips, they give you a pick-me-up at the end. How do you pick a good S.A.T class or tutor? How do you know if they're good? The first question I would ask is, what material do you use? And if you hear anything other than official College Board material, run, okay? The second thing I would ask is, what is your average score gain? And many of them might not want to answer that question, which is actually a good sign. If you hear big score gains, I would be very suspect. Beware of hyperbole.